Connections Radio presents. Join the Love Yourself Foundation for LYF Voices at the Beverly Theater in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada on Saturday, November 15th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Be inspired by speakers who share stories about how they have embraced self-love and improved their lives. Enjoy art, music, sound baths, and more. Network with mental health and wellness leaders. Come and nurture your own health and well-being. For more info about LYF Voices, visit their website, thelyfoundation.org.
Hey, g'day everybody. Here we are again, Ana Karenina K. Aloha with the Business of Giving. And I have got a super guest for us today to listen to. She is amazing. Her name is Coni Myers. G'day, Coni.
Hey, good day.
You're learning really fast, girl. Thank you. Coni has got a huge story. As you can see, she's not 20. So she has spent a lifetime of getting all this experience and information to help her community. And it's breathtaking and awesome. So why don't you start off, Coni, and tell us why you're in Las Vegas?
Oh, I'm in Las Vegas because after we sold a national company, my husband came to work for his kids. And we lived in Portland, and I always told him, do not ask me to move to Vegas. I don't like brown. I don't like heat. I'm a gardener. Gardening in Vegas is like an infomercial. You set it and you forget it. And then he passed away, and here I am.
Okay. That's a good enough reason as any. All right. So I've been looking up a little bit of facts about you, and you've got this amazing, what is it? Kit for kids?
Kits for kids, yes.
Can you tell me how, first of all, how it was created in your mind and where it's gone from that creation to now?
Well, it's been a 3.5-year journey. It's been a long one. I was a FEMA inspector and trainer for 7 years. So I did over 50 disasters myself, and I trained thousands of inspectors. So I saw firsthand what happens to families and particularly kids after disaster strikes. And over 50% of kids, even if it's not a major disaster, they get wrapped up in the energy of parents trying to get their home back together, even if it's repairs, not destroyed. And they end up with PTSD. And if PTSD is not treated, then it manifests itself in other ways. So I always wanted to write a book or do something to help parents and what to look for when it comes to kids that have gone through something. And it doesn't have to be like a natural disaster. It could be any kind of crisis, right? And then in 2019, in the spring of 2019, the California Association of Realtors, who has all of my leadership training on it, they sent out an email saying, these are courses we're looking for 2020. And one of them was on disasters. And I wrote back, I said, nobody gets that but me. So I wrote a simple little 3-hour course, and I presented at their big expo that they have every year. And as I'm teaching and going in front of all of their educators, and I had a panel of a director from FEMA, the Los Angeles County CERT program, the Community Emergency Response Team, a gentleman who had gone through the fires and the mudslides in Santa Barbara, and then another woman who went through the fires in Malibu. And as I'm moderating this panel, I'm realizing there's so much more that needed to be said. So I ended up writing a 5-hour course. And it actually came out. I did my first training in April of 2020. Little did we know. Anyway, so I ended up with, through the course of 2020 and 2021, I ended up with like 38 CKM advisors around the country that were realtors. And I did it because realtors are always looking for a way to stand out and be different than the other realtors. And I said, if you're out there talking about how to be better prepared and how to serve your community, and I provided every month information, and everybody loved it, but nobody did anything with it. I even did a video. All I had to do was forward the video, and that even didn't get done. And I'm speaking at the National Natural Disaster Expo. And a woman walked up to me after I was done, and she put her finger in my face and she says, "You need to be a nonprofit and you need to work with kids." So I went back to my booth and I started saying that we have applied for our 501c3 and we want to protect kids. The conversation went from them thinking I'm trying to sell them something they don't need to, how can I be involved? What can I do to be a part of this? And so that's how it all started. This is what the kit looks like. I'll hold it up here. And it gets Velcroed into the bottom of a kid's everyday backpack.
Oh,
so
fabulous.
School, the playground, activities, and in it is a tracker where the parents can track where the child is, or if there's some kind of an emergency, the child can be notified through the tracker. It has what's called bleed stop, which stops everything from a small wound to a major, or a small cut to a major wound, and all kinds of other safety items, right? And the whole idea is that 75% of parents are worried about their kids' fears, anxiety, depression. Suicide has tripled over the last few years.
Can't believe it.
Kids, 76% of kids are worried, is there going to be a planet to live on? Am I going to get shot? Am I going to be bullied? Am I going to be harassed online? Am I going to be able to go to school? Am I going to be able to have a job? Young girls are thinking, do I even think about having children? My kids, my grandkids didn't have to worry about now my great-grandson's 9. They didn't have to worry about any of that. So this addresses a primary purpose. The kit is just the carrot to get the people involved. I've been mobbed by grandma saying they wanted 5 or 6 of these things, right? So,
but I can just see it, mobbed by grandma.
I went to it was a real estate association, and it was primarily Asian, and all these little Chinese ladies that were shorter than me and about my age. And they all afterwards, when I said I had some kits left over, I would give away. I was surrounded. And one of them saying, I want 5. The other one saying, I want 4. And I'm going, well, you get 1.
Well, they're fabulous idea.
Well, thank you. And it's, I have not talked to a single soul that says, oh, that's nice. Everybody says, oh, my son could use that, or my granddaughter could use that, or my niece, right? So that was but again, this is just the carrot. The whole goal is to provide through our ambassador program. It's called Young Voices, Big Impact. Kids 13 to 17 provide a 1-minute video about why they want to be the Kids for Kids spokesperson in their community.
Okay.
And then we teach them how to be a community leader, right? So now we have young people educating the younger people, but also guess what? They're teaching the adults. And the mental health people say the best way to overcome those fears and anxiety is for kids to be empowered, to be inspired, to be resilient. And so we're making them the leaders in the community. And let's face it, the one thing we all agree on is we want to protect our kids. So that's how it started. And it's I've been told it's going to go viral, and I'm already seeing a little bit of that since we did our official launch in September. I'm already seeing the wheels starting to move. So I'm going to hold on to my hat, and hopefully that 3.5 years of planning is working.
So if somebody out there in the community wants to get one, how do they do it?
They can go onto the website, bepreparedbeready.org. They can make a donation of a minimum of $25. Okay. I'm starting, so Giving Tuesday is December 2nd. So we're starting a new campaign where if you purchase 2 for $100, you get 2 paid forward to somebody that can't afford it.
Awesome.
And then on there is my email address and my phone number. If they want to buy them in bulk, if they want to give them away as part of their business, they just reach out to me and we'll have a conversation. And the more they buy, the less they cost.
It seems to me that would be something you'd want to put in every little kid's backpack.
Yes.
The schools and all sorts.
Well,
I don't go anywhere without a backpack, but I've got like adult equipment in there. So you come up to me, man. I'm ready
Okay.
for you.
What's really important to know, the reason it's called Kits for Kids is because we all can agree we want to protect our kids, right? But this kit should be in your backpack. It's the very same. What's in here for kids is good for you. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be having kits for seniors, kits for disabilities, kits for pets. This kit is vital. And it does give a sense of control, right? And confidence. So the whole idea is to educate the kids, and the kids educate us as adults, going out to the civic organizations, going to the churches, going to the schools, and educating all of us on what it means to be prepared and what it means to what you have to do to if something happens. So the ambassador program is a key component. This gets the people in, and then they automatically want to do the rest.
Okay, so with the ambassador program, how is that put together?
So that is just being launched here in another about 3 weeks. So we're asking kids to submit at a school, or let's say a Boys and Girls Club, or like Friday tomorrow, I'm going to a Girl Scout troop. And we're asking them to contribute a 1-minute video about why they want to be involved. And now what do we have? We have, first of all, the people in the community that are involved. They get to vote on a boy and a girl that are the top ambassadors, right? But now we have an army of kids that said they want to be involved. And the mental health people say that's the best way for them to overcome those fears. So it's in my estimation, and I might be just a slight bit prejudiced, but it is absolutely the answer for us to do a lot of things. Like these ambassador kids, they're going to be out there talking about being prepared and what to have in all of our emergency kits, not just theirs. They're going to be talking about things like food security. They're going to be talking about homelessness. They're going to be talking about, we're going to advance the conversation. And, none of us can argue with wanting to protect our kids.
That's right.
That's universal, right? So the goal is to really get out there and have these kids be the voices, the recipient voices to empower. And think about this. If these kids are 13 to 17 and they've committed to doing this, what are they going to be like when they're 30?
Yeah, tomorrow's leaders, that's for sure. Yeah,
and we'll have good leaders, right?
Yeah. Powered leaders. Yeah, I've got a 9-year-old granddaughter who's exactly going down that path. And because of her mom and dad, and because of me, her grandmother.
Of course.
I've been all around the world. I've worked in on one event, it was like 54 countries, but I've been to over 100 countries. And yeah, it's really important, A, to know how to protect yourself, and B, to know what to do if something happens to you and you need to stay alive, survive.
Well, and one of the things we're going to be including is exactly what your granddaughter is doing, taking up some kind of martial art. My granddaughter was like yours. When she was 9, she got her 5th degree black belt. And it empowers her. I mean, let's face it, nobody's going to give her a hard time.
Exactly. Yeah, my granddaughter's on her 5th jiu-jitsu belt. It's funny because I have a client, and he always says to me, and he's been in the police force for nearly 30 years, and he says, I think and he's into jiu-jitsu in a big way. But of course, life gets in the way, job gets in the way, injuries get in the way. He says, I think your granddaughter's going to get to the black belt before me. Well, you never know. Yeah, all these things are, and this is bringing to me what I think of as those crucial years, through the squash years when the pandemic was on, through those 4 years of COVID, and people lost their minds. Adults lost their minds, the parents, and the kids turned, I guess most people have TVs, so they turn into zombies. So this is really empowering.
My goal is to have in each and every community, like I'm in Las Vegas. So Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Henderson, Pahrump, Boulder City, there be these groups in all these different, because every community has its own needs, We're not talking about just natural disaster, other kinds of crisis, right?
Mm.
And we can have these young people educated and informed and being able to be the answer. There's a wonderful program called the Community Emergency Response Teams, CERT. It's totally volunteer. The training is free. I highly recommend everybody get it. And it deals with whatever the risk factors are for your area. So, like a lot of the high school kids have CERT training, and they're now the people that go out there when there's something that needs to happen. And when you talk to these kids, they'll sit down and they'll figure out a solution. Instead of complaining there's a problem, they'll figure out how to fix it. And just think if we had a country filled with young people that were looking for the solutions to the problems instead of arguing.
No, that's the old-fashioned way. It used to be like that back in the old days. I know it was in Australia, that's for sure. Yes, that's getting people back on course, especially the children, and our futures in the children. That's a granted thing to think about, where we're in such a topsy-turvy place right now. Nobody knows where they're coming or going. We need to get these children centered on what they are in the community, what they are in our country, who they are, what are they doing?
100%. You know, it's like kids don't feel like they have a voice anymore because the adults are acting like they don't have a voice, right? And if we let those kids show us, and the bottom line is we will listen to kids. We will listen to kids far more than before we'll listen to one another, right? And so if we can get the kids communicating, guess what? You know, there's that old saying, when the water rises, the boats rise.
Yes.
Well, that is completely applicable to what we're doing.
Yeah. And also, I think now that we've gotten over all this crazy stuff, that we have to go back to the system of, if you do well, you get a pat on the back. Not everybody gets a pat on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
This needs to change. You know, there needs to be a whole new system that used to be back in the old days. That, you know, if you do good, you get the pat on the back, and you move further and further up. I know my granddaughter's like that when she's at jiu-jitsu. Man, you know, if somebody gets the best of her in grappling, she's going to go home and work it all out in her head and how she can change it around so she can be the best next time. I think it's a great.
Well, and that's important. I mean, I think it was the Gen Xers that, you know, the parents decided, and somebody decided that everybody got an award, whether they deserved it or not. Well, that did a total disservice. And then you added texting, the starting of texting to that. And so you've created human beings that didn't learn how to communicate with one another, right? And God forbid there be something that goes wrong. Like nothing ever goes wrong in your life, right? It's always smooth sailing. And they don't know how to handle those kinds of things. So I think what I see in the young millennials and the Gen Zers and the Gen Alphas are just getting started, but you're seeing a real resurgence of the importance of humanity, the importance of one another. They don't want to leave one another behind. They want to lift them up, right? Yeah. And that's the way it should be. We should all be out there wanting to lift everybody up, not tear everybody down. And so for me, obviously you can tell I'm just a little bit passionate about this.
Have you written a book for the younger people, or is
actually I have? I just had an artist put together some dinosaurs that they're gonna explain what goes into the kit and why. And I have written 8 books. So the last one is a reference manual on what you need to have to be resilient, and whether it's a disaster or the kind of crisis or whatever. But information is gold, right? And again, I'm going to go back to the kids, because the kids they're facing. I mean, you have a 9-year-old granddaughter. I have a 9-year-old great grandson. What in the world, when they're 45, what kind of world are they going to be in? We don't have time to mess around anymore. It's now. And we have to take action. And again, we will listen to our kids before we'll listen to one another. And so I feel like the kids are the solution and the beneficiaries of what we're doing.
But I know my little one's going to be a leader. Well, she already is the leader out there. So she's homeschooled, though. It makes a big difference.
Oh, definitely.
You
Definitely.
can pack it all in. Absolutely pack it all in. So with the FEMA, is that part of what got you into doing these kits? Is that like a flow on?
Yeah, well, I always, when you are out and you are going to a disaster, and I'll just give you one really quick story. So the first disaster I did was the Northridge earthquake. And then after that, I did some flooding in Central California. And I drove up to this house, and there was an older gentleman. He had to be in his mid to late 80s. And I drove up, and he's sitting on his porch, and he's holding what looks like just a bunch of stack of wood, old wood. And he's crying. And I get out of the car, and I go up and I introduce myself. And I said, "How can I help you?" And he held up this wood, and he said, "This was my grandfather's." Now, he's in his 80s. Grandfather's toolbox.
Oh.
And I became physically addicted to the job. I would come home after a disaster, get sick for a day, and then I'd turn the TV to see where I was going to go next. Today, I could pick and choose what disaster I want to go to because there's so many of them. But watching people, the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, they and the FEMA are the first lines of recovery. And when you go out there and you help people to make those steps forward, and if they have a victim mentality, you want to switch them to a resilient mentality. Yeah. And the way to do that is to empower them with information, right? So I was, as a matter of fact, to this day, when there is a disaster, now I'm 77, there's no disaster I could go and do right now. But every time I hear about a disaster, I'm ready to go. I want to go. Yeah. So this is the next best answer.
Yes.
I can help prepare young people and what to do.
Definitely.
So that's it's kind of full circle for me.
Yeah, I've been an amateur radio operator for decades, and I've been out on lots and lots of it, not just here in America, but overseas, lots of different disasters. So, and the fact that I could speak to people on the radio, even when they couldn't speak a lot of English, everybody can speak English now. But yeah, that it all, every tool that you have in your toolkit, and it's going to help somebody. That's where we all should be. We're, like you said, we're lifting each other up, and that's something that has to be taught to a lot of adults these days.
You know, and there's a whole other side to this. So you mentioned doing well by doing good. That's one of my favorite lines. Okay, when you are out there being a community leader and supporting others and helping others, let's use a real estate agent as an example, but it applies to all businesses. So if I'm a real estate agent and I want to get more clients, what better way? What if I walk up to you and you want to list your house, and I'm one of the people you're talking to about listing your house, and I walk up to you and I hand you my book that is a reference guide for what you need to do to protect your home and your family. And I say, here, even if you don't list with me, this is a gift for you to protect your home. And I walk up to you and I say, you said you had 2 kids. I want to give you these, and I wanted you to put them in their everyday backpack so they can stay safer. What have you done? You have changed the conversation from you're going to compete with all these other realtors out there to saying, I care about you. So I don't care if you're a plumber or a contractor or selling cars or whatever. And it doesn't have to be my kids. It can be anything you are giving back to the community, giving back to people. That will set you apart. So it's actually very, very profitable to do well by doing good.
Oh, body, mind, spirit, and heart. It all comes together. Yeah, you are a gem of a person to listen to. There's so many more questions that I could ask you. So where is the next place that actually people can hear you speak or read up about you on the web, or where are you?
Okay, so my website is bepreparedbeready.org, which it just got relaunched because it was hacked. So, and I'm adding all of the media and all of my events this weekend. So some of them are up there now, but not all of them. So you can reach out, but you can reach out to me there, and I can give you. So my cell phone number is 503-805-6621. And my email is Coni, CONI, MEYERS at bepreparedbeready.org. And if anybody wants to be involved, or anybody wants to help, or anybody wants to take this to their community or their family, whether it's here or somewhere else, it doesn't matter, then just reach out to me and we can make it happen. And I've got a couple of speaking engagements coming up. I'll be announcing the dates and times on those shortly.
Thank you, Coni, for spending the time. I know that you're a really, really busy lady, and I appreciate you coming on my podcast, and I wish you all the best.
Well, thank you. And so I'm so grateful for you to have me. It's really, I love your name, The Business of Giving. That's so important.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, lady. All right.
Yep, it is.
Later. Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha.
The Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce brings businesses and nonprofit organizations together to create synergistic relationships that benefit the community. Join our tribe to network with community and business partners, increase sales, improve fundraising efforts, differentiate your brand, help worthy nonprofits, and more. Become a member today. Visit our website, causemarketingchamber.com, to see how we can help you grow your business or your nonprofit organization. Click on the Join Now button at causemarketingchamber.com. Help us build a world where social responsibility is the new bottom line. PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.